very good and happy Wednesday morning to everyone out there. Landon here with you to bring you your latest weather and forecast, courtesy of our friends at On Target. Got quite a bit to talk about, folks. We got a lot of weather right here on the horizon. All that begins today. It's going to be taking us all the way through the weekend as well, with a combination of temperature swings, some rain, some snow, and some wind. Can't forget that, right? Looking out there early this morning, we got a cold front approaching right here out of the north and west. We got cloud debris out along and ahead of that front that has already got us socked in here across the Wobbles community and beyond. Now we do have some rain chances approaching here out of the north and west as well. And we can take a look and a quick gander at that by zooming in here, looking at the latest in terms of what's arriving right here from the north and west. All right, we can put this into motion for you. We can bring it up. You can get a look at the latest. It's hugging right along and just south of the Ohio River. This is going to continue to swing down to the south and east along with that cold front, bringing those scattered rain chances as we work and as we progress throughout the day. D93 Sky Cam overlooking downtown Bowling Green, showcasing the cloud cover that's got us socked in out there already early this morning. Same can be said overlooking our Morgantown Sky Cam. Got the lights refracting and reflecting off the bottom edge of that cloud deck. We're going to be keeping the clouds around today, folks, along with those winds, as we were just mentioning and talking about. Temperatures have stayed up overnight in combination with the increase in cloud cover, the southwesterly winds. We're sitting right around the low and mid 40s region-wide. Can already take a look at our peak gusts since midnight. We've got 20 to 30 plus mile-an-hour gusts that are already being felt, and those are coming out of the south and west this morning. It's going to be changing here as we work throughout the day. Might want a variety of your wardrobe in the car with you, just in case. Let's jump over here and let's talk about what's in store for us, because we have loads and loads to talk about. This is our setup early this morning. Got low pressure over the lower peninsula there of Michigan. We got high pressure hugging right along the panhandle of Florida. That is creating a tightening pressure gradient that is right over top of our heads. That tightening pressure gradient is the cause and the culprit of these very strong winds that we've been experiencing overnight, and we're going to continue to experience throughout the entirety of today. All right, first and foremost, let's get a look at the simulated radar. You can see it bringing in the rain chances here by roughly mid-morning on. It's not going to be a ton, but I do think the HRRR model is hugging that reflectivity a little bit further north into my liking. I think we're going to get in on these scattered light hit-miss rain chances here throughout the day. It's not going to be anything overwhelming, though. And as we work into this afternoon, it might catch a few snowflakes here and there. It's not going to be anything to worry about, but we are going to see temperatures falling from roughly lunchtime on. That is important to take note of, all right? Speaking of those winds, take a look out here. We're rolling throughout this morning. We'll have gusts of 30 to 40, maybe some cases 40 plus miles an hour. I think the vast majority of these gusts will be right around the 30 to 40 mile an hour range. And then look, folks, we get the winds out of the south as we work throughout this morning with these 30 to 40 mile an hour gusts. The cold front's going to come through here right around lunchtime. And look at these winds. Still of the magnitude of 30 to 40 miles an hour. But folks, as we work into this afternoon, those are going to be coming out of the north and west. They're coming out of the south and west this morning, north and west this afternoon. Those temperatures are going to fall, and our high temperatures are going to be achieved early on as a result. Let's take a look at it. We're seeing readings right around the low and mid 40s as we were just looking at via the Kentucky Mesonet. We're going to bump highs up to right around 50 degrees by the time we roll into lunchtime. Low to mid 50s region-wide. This is valid for high noon. And then look, as we roll into 1 p.m., 2 p.m., we're going to be all the way down to the lower 40s. We roll into the latter part of this afternoon, and by sunset, we're going to be down to the 30s. We could have wind chills down to the 20s at times. So don't forget the winter wardrobe before you head out the door. Gonna need the jacket on out there this morning. Maybe a few rain chances as well. But a little bit heavier winter coat is recommended as you work throughout this afternoon and on to the overnight. And by the time we roll into sunrise on Thursday, we're going to be splitting on either side of the freezing mark. And Then we'll cool back down with highs only holding around the low to mid 40s as we work throughout our Thursday. We got more weather makers on the horizon, folks, so let's jump right into it. After the cold front passes, we're going to settle down here throughout our Thursday, and then very quickly, Thursday night into Friday morning, this clipper system is going to dive to the south and east. Now, the focus of snow chances is going to be the north and east side of that surface low, and our latest model guidance is going to be bringing that sucker and that swath of snow, it looks like right along the northeastern periphery of the Wobbles community, and then points northward up towards Louisville, stretching over to Lexington, over towards London, and then eastern Kentucky as well. It looks like northern and eastern Kentucky will be the winners with this particular weather maker, but it will be worth keeping very close eyes on. You can see with the low moving right over top of us, basically, the snow is going to be, again, just to the north and east of that. It's going to kind of cancel out any sort of meaningful snow here with this particular weather maker, right? Let's jump back over here and let's talk about it. Here we are rolling into our Thursday, then we roll into our Thursday evening. You can see it right here, folks, kind of splitting the difference. Looks like that swath of snow is going to be just northeast of the region and swinging down in that direction and then pulling off to the north and east. We might have a few snow showers or a few flurries to worry about, folks, but I don't think we're going to have any sensible weather impacts here across our vicinity. We'll be keeping close eyes on this particular weather maker as we work over the next 24 hours to see if there's any displacement of this system further down to the south and west. All right, getting a longer range view here. We get the initial clipper out of here. That's going to send us up for a wild ride on the temperature roller coaster throughout the weekend. Another clipper drives through here, impacting northern Kentucky as we work into Saturday afternoon on into early Sunday morning. But look at this Canadian high pressure building in here out of the north and west. And folks, that is going to be bringing a sharp drop in temperatures for us, all right? Here we are looking at Friday morning. We're located right here, but I want you all to keep your eyes right here off to our north and west along the Canadian border. Whenever this clipper drives down, this is going to be bringing that associated trough and Canadian high pressure along with it. Here we are working into Friday. We're going to be around 5 degrees below average for this time of year. We get into our Saturday, we're going to be around 10 to 15 degrees below average for this time of year. And then, wait for it, here we are getting into our Sunday. How about those readings? 25 to 30 degrees below normal for this time of year as we work throughout the Sunday time frame. Folks, we're talking about some portions of the region that could potentially not be escaping the 20s for highs. Talking about the opportunity of Saturday and Sunday night lows down to the single digits. Potential for wind chills at sub-zero readings. That is not any temperature to mess around with. Those are dangerous readings to say the least. But then very quickly, as we work into our Monday, we keep the cold conditions around, and then we rebound rather quickly as we roll into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week. And folks, you can see, going to need to keep our eyes on things. A sharp increase in temperatures, going to be bringing along the opportunity at perhaps even some showers and maybe even some strong storms here as we roll into next week. We'll have to keep eyes on that. Kentucky weather, folks, if you don't like the weather, just wait a day or two and it'll change, right? Absolute insanity what we've been dealing with here throughout the early part of the winter season. Jumping over here and looking at the short term, we're looking at very windy conditions today. Gusts at 35 to 40 miles an hour. Some isolated peak gusts could be above that. So tie down any loose lawn decor, Christmas decorations, trampolines, better known as God's Frisbees and beyond. Make sure that those are secured nicely out there. Accumulating snowfall Thursday night to Friday morning with the low tracking down and right over top of us. Not expecting much in terms of accumulation of anything on the ground for us, but we will have to deal with those temperature swings as a result. Looks like the accumulating snowfall should remain north and east of our region. Full 6-day forecast breakdown. Highs near 50 today. Those will be achieved around 11 a.m. to lunchtime. Temperatures falling throughout the afternoon will be down to the mid-20s by early Thursday morning. Clouds increase throughout our Thursday with colder temperatures only holding between the mid and upper 30s. Got the opportunity of some flying snow flurries Thursday night. Bumping highs back up between the low and mid 50s again on Friday, and then the bottom drops back out again throughout the weekend. Sunday afternoon, going to be lucky to escape the 20s out there. Overnight lows down to the low and mid teens. Opportunity at single digit wind chills. Then we'll rebound highs back up to the lower 40s come Monday of next week. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Wednesday morning hump day edition of your Weather Night Forecast presented by On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other.